The stars drifted silently across the black sea of space. Patrol stations near the Centauri border picked up something strange, something that shouldn't exist. A massive warship had appeared. It had no markings, no signal codes, no known design. The ship was unlike anything seen before. Its shape was sharp, smooth, and terrifying. It hovered just outside Centauri space, not moving, not answering hails. At first the Council thought it was a trick or a broken sensor reading. But then came the scans. The ship was real, and it was human-made. The Galactic Council called an emergency session. Representatives from every species gathered in panic. Earth's ambassador looked as confused as everyone else. "This can't be one of ours," she said. "We don't have that kind of technology." Centauri warlord Vorak Thal stood from his seat, slamming his clawed fist on the metal table. "Lies. This is a threat from the humans," he shouted. "They want war and we shall give it to them." Back on Earth, High Command was in chaos. Old records were checked. Military files were unlocked. Every space facility was scanned. No one could explain where this ship came from. It was as if it had appeared from nowhere. The ship just sat there in space, silent, watching, waiting. Earth had no choice but to act fast. They needed someone smart, calm, and trusted. They called Commander Alara Quinn. Alara sat in the quiet room, reading the report for the 5th time. Her dark eyes scanned the images, crisp photos of the unknown warship. Her heart beat faster. She had never seen anything like it. No human had. "Do we have a name for it?" she asked. "Code name, Ghost Ship," the officer replied. "It's not in our database. No build logs, no serial codes. We don't know who made it or how." Alara leaned back. "And Centauri? They're furious. They think we're hiding something." Alara stood up. "Then I'll find out what this thing is before they start a war." The order was clear. Investigate the ship. Find the truth. Avoid war at any cost. Alara boarded a fast diplomatic vessel along with a small crew and headed toward the coordinates of the ghost ship. The journey would take 1 day. She stood at the window as stars streaked past. In her mind, one question echoed. Who built a ship like that, and why? The diplomatic vessel cut through space like a silent arrow. Inside, Commander Alara Quinn stood in the main operations room, reviewing the ship's latest scan reports. The ghost ship was still there, unchanged. No movement, no signal. It floated like a sleeping giant. Her crew moved quietly around her. They all felt the same thing, tension in the air. It wasn't fear of battle. It was fear of the unknown. "Approaching target sector in 4 hours, said Lieutenant Barlow. A calm, soft-spoken officer. Still no response from the ship. "Keep trying," Alara replied. "Every language, every frequency. I want to make contact before the Centauri arrive." Her words were firm, but her mind was full of questions. Why would anyone build such a powerful warship, and then leave it alone in space? Why would Earth have no record of it? She stared at the screen showing the massive object ahead. It was long and wide, shaped like a spear, smooth and black with glowing blue lines running across its surface. It didn't look like a ship designed by humans. It looked alien, but scans proved it was made with Earth's materials. A secure message blinked on the screen. It was from the Galactic Council. Alara opened it. A council official appeared, stern, holographic, and worried. "Commander Quinn, be warned. The Centauri warfleet is on the move. They're sending 3 battle cruisers toward the ghost ship." Alara tensed. "Are they planning to attack?" "They say it's a precaution," the official replied, frowning. "But we fear Vorak Thal wants an excuse to strike." Alara ended the call and turned to her crew. "We need to reach that ship before the Centauri do." As they neared the warship, the crew went silent. The ghost ship filled their viewports. It was even larger up close, hundreds of meters long, with no visible weapons but enough energy signatures to match a fleet. Lieutenant Barlow whispered, It looks alive. The ship wasn't just built. It was designed with purpose, like it was meant to wait. Alara tapped her comm. Send a final signal. This is Commander Alara Quinn of Earth. We are not hostile. We wish to speak. Silence. Then for the first time, the ship responded. Not with words, but with a slow hum. Lights along its hull flickered. A doorway appeared, sealed shut but glowing, like it was scanning them. The ship was acknowledging them. Prepare a boarding team, Alara ordered. I'm going in. Far away aboard the Zentari flagship Bloodclaw, Vorik Fall snarled as he watched the same feed. She dares approach my prize, he growled. Let the humans make first contact. When they unlock it, we strike. He raised his hand. Ready the fleet. We move at full speed. As Alara's ship moved closer to the ghost ship's glowing entrance, she placed her hand on the hull. It was warm. The sensors read energy. The material was Earth origin, but stronger than any alloy in use. Whatever this ship was, it wasn't just old, it was advanced. Possibly centuries beyond anything humans had. Commander Barlow said, "Do you really believe this was built by Earth?" Alara didn't answer. She looked up at the ship and whispered, "I think someone on Earth built it, but they didn't want anyone to know." The ghost ship's door slid open with a deep, low hiss. Commander Alara Quinn stood at the edge of the boarding ramp, her heart pounding. The opening was tall, wide, and glowing faint blue around the edges. A soft pulse echoed from within, like a quiet heartbeat. Team 1, stay close. No weapons raised unless I say so, Alara ordered. She stepped inside first. The ship's interior was vast and silent. The floor was made of dark metal that shimmered under their boots. Long corridors stretched ahead, curving slightly, like the ship was designed to confuse intruders. The walls glowed faintly, lighting the path forward without visible lamps. There was no dust, no signs of age, no crew, just silence. The deeper they went, the stranger things became. The ship had no obvious controls. No buttons, no screens. Instead, smooth panels lined the walls, occasionally flickering with symbols no one could read. Lieutenant Barlow scanned the surface with his handheld device. "Commander, this alloy, it's Earth-based, but it's been enhanced. These readings don't make sense." Alara touched one of the symbols. Instantly, a holographic interface rose from the floor. Blue streams of data hovered in the air. Her crew stepped back in shock. Alara Barlow whispered, "It responded to you." More lights turned on. The ship was waking up. In the central chamber, they found what looked like a command deck. Unlike other parts of the ship, this room had a large circular console in the center. When Alara approached, the console lit up. A robotic voice echoed through the chamber. Calm, emotionless, yet familiar. "Welcome, Commander Alara Quinn." Identity confirmed. Everyone froze. Alara's eyes widened. "How does it know me?" "Genetic markers match classified Earth Command Registry. Rank Commander. Mission Reactivation Protocol." She stepped back. "This ship was programmed to respond to me." The crew looked around, confused and stunned. "But I've never seen this ship in my life," she said. She turned to the others. "Search the room. Find anything that explains this." After a few minutes, Barlow held up a small black cube. He placed it near the console. The cube flickered and began playing a recorded video. An old man appeared. His uniform was outdated, centuries old. "If you're watching this," the man said, "then Earth is in danger. This ship, the Aegis, was built in secret by the Black Core Initiative, hidden from the Council, hidden even from Earth itself. A final weapon, built not to start a war, but to end one." The recording showed Earth's old space stations, labs, and test sites. Only a true Earthborn commander can awaken the ship. Its AI is bound to your DNA. The screen faded. Alara was silent. Her crew stared at her. "So what now?" Barlow asked. This ship belongs to us. She turned toward the glowing console. No, it doesn't belong to anyone. It was built to protect Earth if all else failed. But it's awake now, he said. I know, she replied. And that means someone thinks it's time. Back in deep space, Vorik Thol's fleet approached fast. His scouts had already picked up energy surges from the ghost ship. The warlord smiled. They're waking it up, he said. Perfect. Let the humans do the work. Then we take it for ourselves. As Alara stood alone in the command chamber, the AI spoke again. Defense systems active, foreign fleets approaching. Centauri warships 3. She looked at the main screen. Red dots lit up the map. Those! They're here, she whispered. Then she said the word she never thought she'd say. Activate shields. Prepare for battle. Red warning lights blinked across the ghost ship's interior. The massive vessel, now partially awake, responded with silent precision. Shields powered up. Systems lit to life. Inside the command chamber, Commander Alara Quinn stood firm, eyes fixed on the tactical display. 3 Centauri warships were closing in fast. Status report, she said. Lieutenant Barlow studied the readouts. Shields are holding. Power levels steady. Weapon systems are online. And they're unlike anything we've ever seen. The AI's calm voice echoed again. Target lock established. Centauri fleet within engagement range. Alara hesitated. She didn't want to fire first. But the Centauri weren't known for waiting. A sharp alarm rang out. An incoming transmission from the Centauri flagship. Vorik Thol's face appeared on the screen. Cold, angry, and confident. Commander Quinn, he said. Step away from that vessel. It belongs to the Galactic Council now. You are trespassing. Alara met his gaze without flinching. This ship was built by humans. We have a right to understand it. This is no time for debates. Vorik growled. If you do not leave, we will take it by force. Then he ended the call. The first missile came seconds later. It streaked across space, aiming for the ghost ship's center. The crew flinched, then stared as the ship's energy shield absorbed the blast like a drop of rain. Shields at 99%. The AI reported. Alara took a breath. Do not fire. Let them come closer. 2 more missiles hit. Still no damage. The Centauri ships now moved into attack formation. AI, Alara said. Can we disable them without destroying them? Yes. Firing non-lethal countermeasures. Without warning. The ghost ship moved. Fast, too fast for its size. Twin beams of blue light shot from its hull. They struck the engines of the first Centauri ship, shutting it down instantly. The vessel drifted. Powerless. A wave of smaller pulses hit the second ship. Its weapons froze mid-charge. Systems went dark. The third ship tried to flee. The ghost ship didn't chase it. It didn't need to. The AI spoke again. Enemy fleet neutralized. No casualties. Alara and her crew stood in stunned silence. They had just watched a single ship disarm an entire attack squad, without a single human firing a weapon. Barlow whispered, "This thing, it's a fortress." Alara nodded slowly. "No. It's a warning." Far away aboard his now disabled flagship, Vorik Thal sat in rage and disbelief. How? How can a human ship do this? He slammed his fist on the console. This changes everything. He knew his next move had to be smarter. The humans had just shown they were no longer weak. That ghost ship wasn't a myth. It was a message. And now everyone in the galaxy had seen it. Back on the ghost ship, Alara sat quietly in the command chair. Her hands rested on the console. The AI lights pulsed gently, waiting for her next command. "This ship was made to protect us," she said aloud. "But if we're not careful, it could also destroy everything." The crew around her looked to her for guidance. "What now, Commander?" Barlow asked. Alara looked out into the stars. "We bring this to the Council. We tell the truth. And we show them what this ship really is." She stood. humanity's final defense, and their greatest secret. The ghost ship's command chamber was quiet again. The red warning lights had faded. The Centauri ships were gone, 2 disabled, 1 retreating. For now there was peace. But Alara Quinn felt the weight of what had just happened. She had commanded a ship that wasn't supposed to exist, and it had listened to her. The AI voice returned, soft and steady. Commander Alara Quinn, full control authorization available, awaiting confirmation. Barlow looked at her. Are you going to accept? Alara stared at the glowing control ring in the center of the room. It pulsed with a blue light, inviting her. She took a deep breath. I don't want power, she said. I just want answers. She stepped forward, placed her hand on the ring. A sudden surge of energy passed through her. Not painful, just intense. The ship lit up from within. Lights flashed along the corridors. Systems unlocked. The AI spoke again. Welcome, Primary Commander. Full systems active. All archives available. Screens opened around her, showing blueprints, maps, logs, thousands of files hidden for centuries. Alara's crew gathered around. One of the engineers, Lieutenant Ramos, opened the oldest archive. A recorded message played. It was from the same old man they had seen before. The one from the cube. Project Aegis was born in secret, he said. We saw the signs, the council growing unstable, the Centauri preparing for expansion. Earth needed a shield. Something powerful, invisible, and untraceable. The message continued. But such power is dangerous. That's why we hid it. Only to be awakened when Earth faced true threat. Only by one who puts duty before control. The screen faded to black. Alara felt cold. All this time, Earth had a hidden weapon, and no one knew. Not even the leaders alive today. It had been buried deep in the shadows of history, and now it was hers. She turned to the AI. Does anyone else have access to this ship? No. Command protocols tied to genetic lineage. You are the only living match. Barlow raised an eyebrow. So you were chosen. I was born into it without knowing, she said softly. My family must have been part of the original project. She looked around. It's not just a ship, it's a legacy. Far away, council members watched the incident through emergency footage. They saw the Centauri fleet fall. They saw the ghost ship stand alone. Panic filled the chambers. Some wanted the ship destroyed. Others wanted it controlled. But none could deny the truth. Earth, once considered weak, had just changed the balance of power in the galaxy. Meanwhile, Vorak Thal regrouped with his war advisors. She commands it, one of them whispered. She commands a ghost, Vorak replied. We will find its weaknesses. And next time, we will not miss. He stared at a large display of the ghost ship. She does not know it yet. But that vessel is the key to either Earth's rise or its destruction. Back on the ship, Alara stood alone in the command chamber. She gave her next order. Set a course for the Galactic Council station. I'm bringing the truth with me. The ship responded instantly, its engines powering up smoothly. As the stars shifted and the ship moved, Alara thought of what lay ahead. Questions, fear, and perhaps conflict. But also hope. Humanity had always adapted, always endured. Now they had something to protect them. The ghost ship moved through space like a shadow. Silent, fast, unstoppable. Commander Alara Quinn stood on the bridge, eyes fixed on the forward screen. The Galactic Council's main station, Solaris Prime, was now in view. It floated in the distance like a massive wheel, surrounded by ships from every known species. Messages from the Council had already started flooding in. Some begged for answers. Others demanded the ship be turned over. A few offered help, but with strings attached. Hold our course, Alara said calmly. No sudden moves. We're not here to fight. Inside the station, a special council session was called. Panic was high. Tensions boiled. The Centauri ambassador accused Earth of breaking galactic law. Other species demanded the warship be dismantled. Only a few voices called for reason. Then came the moment everyone waited for. The ghost ship arrived. It hovered near the station, too large to dock, but close enough to be seen from every viewport. And then Alara Quinn appeared on the main console display, broadcast from the bridge of the ship. She spoke clearly and without fear. This ship is real. It was built centuries ago by a hidden human group. It was meant to protect Earth in times of great danger. Nothing more. The council chamber buzzed with noise, but she continued. We didn't know about it until days ago. I didn't know until I stepped aboard. But now I do, and I've seen what it can do. She paused. I didn't come here to threaten anyone. I came to offer truth and peace. One of the council members, a tall insectoid from the Chiran species, leaned forward. And what happens if another human takes command? What if Earth turns this weapon on the rest of us? Alara replied. The ship is locked to my DNA. No one else can control it. And I don't want war, but I will defend Earth, if I must. The room fell silent. Even the Zentari ambassador didn't speak. After the broadcast ended, the council argued for hours. Some still called for action. But most had seen what the ghost ship could do, and none wanted to risk another battle. In the end, no vote was taken, no punishment was given. Instead, the council chose to wait, watch, and hope Alara was telling the truth. Back aboard the ship, Alara watched the stars. Lieutenant Barlow stepped beside her. They didn't accept us, but they didn't attack either. That's enough for now, she said. Barlow nodded. What do we do next? Alara took a deep breath. We learn. We study this ship. We find out everything we can, and we make sure it's used only when needed. Barlow smiled faintly. You mean like a guardian? She nodded. Exactly. Far across space, in a dark corner of the Zentari Empire, Vorik Thal stood in his war chamber. His pride was wounded. His fleet had failed, but his mind worked on. The humans have their weapon, he muttered. Then so must we. He turned to his engineers. Find their secrets. Build our own. And when the time is right, he clenched his fist. We strike again. As the ghost ship drifted quietly in deep space, its lights dimmed to standby mode. Its weapons were silent, but its presence was known now, feared, respected, and never forgotten. Earth was no longer seen as weak. Humanity had just reminded the galaxy. They were never truly defenseless.